Good, good. A little tired,
Yeah.
but I'm here.
I mean,
Always
that's all you can
good.
ask for.
Pardon me?
So that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Was it? I didn't go outside today. How was it?
A little better than yesterday, that's for sure. Like yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening was it's a little nippy out after work, but today wasn't too bad at all.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Tim?
What? I'm
How
good.
how was your day? You're good?
Yeah, I was on the road the
That's
last
good.
couple of days, so
Okay.
arrived destinations and back home safe and sound. So
Okay.
I'm not complaining.
That's
That's
good.
good.
That's
Happy
good.
to hear that.
Exactly. All right. So I guess we should start.
Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Let's do it. All right. So, hello everyone. Welcome back to Let's Be Real. On this show, we will talk about the arts, small businesses, relationships, current events, and issues in the Caribbean and African community. So, throughout the show, we want you, the viewers, to comment questions and let's just be real. So, I am your host, Danielle. On the top, I don't know if it's your right, left, is Mr. Noel, and on the bottom is Kiki. You guys good? Ready to go?
Good. Let's
Ready to
do it.
do it.
Awesome, awesome. So, I have a question. Do you know what generation you guys are in? Like, are you a millennial? Are you a Gen Z? Are you a silent
Boomer.
generation? A boomer?
I am a millennial, I believe.
You're a
Yes,
millennial?
I am a millennial.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Tim, do you know what you are?
Uh, Gen X.
Gen X?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because it changed recently. Again. So.
Uh, I'm good.
Don't
I'm
take
a Gen
yourself
X.
too much. Nah, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm a Gen X.
That
That's what
sounds
I know.
about right. That
Yeah.
sounds about right.
That's the
Yeah.
Gen X is like mid '60s to 1980. I'm born in '78, so
Oh, okay. So you're
There you
you're
go.
there.
I'm the real
See, I'm
deal.
born 80. Yeah.
You're the
Well,
real
I'm
deal, hey?
Yes, I
That's
am the
big.
real deal. And
Yeah.
I will tell you why. But
Okay,
No,
tell me
no.
why.
Tell us why, Tim.
uh,
I'm curious.
people
So why?
born in like the late '70s, I think, are like some of the coolest humans to ever exist. So we got to we experienced the massive rise of cable television. We experienced the like we experienced the explosion of music in regards to portable music, making music stars not just like you had like the Beatles and the Jackson Five, but like you had like music, the accessibility of music and music videos, music television. That was my era. Um,
I'm
Okay.
still
I
not
like we
convinced, but keep going.
all good. You don't have to be convinced, but you get to literally benefit from you. We were the test tube babies. Do you know what I mean? Like we were the test tube babies. We were the test tube stars. Like look at all
I
the
like
80s,
that. I like how
70s,
you phrase
the 70s babies that were child stars in the 80s. A lot of them aren't with us anymore because the accessibility to drugs and the effects of those things, that was us. I'm born.
it.
I'm as exennial. Oh God, the new name
Yes.
exennial. Okay,
You're also called the 13ers, is what I
the
found out.
13ers. Why?
13ers.
What's
What
up
does
with that?
that
Mm.
mean?
I don't know. That's just another name they put for Gen X.
Weird. There has to be some
Yeah.
reason for
There was no
that, but
explanation like reason for it. It was just 13ers.
hmm.
Well, okay,
I don't
back
know.
to me.
Yeah.
So the
Okay.
Sorry.
so like think about it like this: if you're born in the '70s, you
Mhm.
got to see you got to see Michael Jackson at his apex. You got to see Michael Jordan at his big apex. You got to see Mike Tyson at his apex. We got to see the crossover from hip hop. We got to watch hip hop be this little thing that was ours to this thing that moved over the whole entire world. You got to video game systems. That was like we were like I said, the test tube. Like I've played Commodore 64, Atari 2600, 7800, Nintendo, all the Nintendos, all the PlayStations, Sega. Like, do you know what I mean? Like my perspective.
I mean, I played the Segas. I played all the PlayStations.
Really?
But he played the first.
No, you played them because somebody didn't get the new one yet. I played them because they were that was it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I got my first computer in 1988. It was 10. Windows 95, the Windows 95 and personal computing craze didn't happen until like 95, 96. And even later within our community. So, it's just like...
DOS.
No, I had to literally do DOS commands. You know?
DOS commands, yeah.
Not to bring up too much other topics, but like I remember, like my influences in IT were black. They were black, African, and Caribbean. I said Atari, Cheryl. I did. So it's funny. So there was Windows 3.1 was available. But there was Mr. Samuels, this man from Fort McMurray. He built what's called a GUI, or graphical user interface, for DOS. Like, so I could just point and click to do some of the things that I need to do. But I remember when there were all these different options before Windows and Mac became what it was. But I'm just saying, like, people born in like the late 70s or even the 70s, the early 80s, the way that we kind of like our kind of scope of the world is really different, and I think that it leads to be able to understanding like the later generations in a way they can't necessarily understand.
You said you were born in 78, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so for instance, someone who was born in 81 is technically a millennial, but you would have like some sort of like cross references there, wouldn't you?
You do have some.
Because you're only a few years older than someone who would have.
You have some, but when it comes to like some of when you talk about like earliest memories, it's really different if you were coming of age like in the 80s or in the 90s. Do you know what I mean? Like, like for example, I don't remember what year you're born. I think you're born in like 2000 and... Just kidding.
What? Please.
Yeah.
No. I was born in 94, so...
So imagine someone who's born in like 89, right? You may remember everybody had... When your earliest memories, everyone had a cell phone. But someone born in like 89... Remember?
No, but
really,
I'm serious.
Well, I remember I got my first cell phone in 1999.
Okay,
that was my first cell phone. I had a pager as well. Right. I don't think my kids know what a pager is. I know that there's like people like they hear about it, or if I go in my little tech graveyard and I pull it out, it's like, Dad, what's that? Do you know what I mean? So like. VHS.
No, I definitely know what a pager is.
Yeah. Pardon?
And the dial-up phone.
When did you learn what a pager is, though?
Yes.
From Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Thank you.
That's hilarious.
Do you know what I mean? Just so what I'm saying is just the array of experiences. Like, I remember when I first got onto the internet at home. 1994, I bought a modem and installed it into my computer. You know, so wow. and it was a completely. So I'm on the internet and my parents can't use the phone. Do you know what I'm saying? That's like a different.
Right. No, I remember that. Yeah. I had dial-up when I was a kid. When I was like 11. But
Yeah,
the thing is too, I guess it depends on where you grow up as well, and
that's
kind
another
of,
thing too,
what
right?
your resources were like at that
Yeah,
time. Because for being born in 94, I always say, and you guys might like that, I got a little bit of the old school and kind of transitioned into the new school. Like, because again, like I had dial up. My first cell phone was a little tiny Nokia. I got that when I was 12. So
got a
I kind
phone
of
with 12 right
feel
there.
like,
We
mind you, it didn't have the capabilities that cell phones have, right? The
yo
screen was like
trust.
this big. And yeah, so I feel like my age group was kind of like that transition. Like we got just enough school, at least I did, and
Yeah,
we kind of transitioned into the new. So at least that's my take on it.
I just the reason why I kind of sat up with that. So now, like, how do you say it?
Oh, we have some comments.
Well, I've heard some comments. You hear stuff from some of the younger age groups, and they're talking about our age group, and it's just like, yo, if we weren't the test tubes,
Mhm.
all this tech you're enjoying, like it passed through us. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like
Right?
blue, like like oh shoot, like you're hearing your parents, should I get beta or should I get VHS?
Yeah.
But then someone who's a little younger is gonna, and then those technologies lasted for so long. Now
Right.
it's
Yeah.
like you have like DVD didn't last. Did DVDs last a good solid 15 years before they were just like, who has a DVD?
Right.
Do you know what I
It was
mean?
that long?
I still watch
If
DVDs.
exactly,
I love my little DVD collection. So,
I listen. My
um,
So do
first DVD
I.
but I
player,
use my Xbox now to play my DVDs. So I don't
like
even play it now.
I remember paying like $250 for a DVD player, and now, if I wanted a DVD player, like I can literally go to a
On.
scrapyard. If
We're
that,
getting
go check
told
it,
to read
holding up
some
somebody's
comments.
door.
What
Big
comments are you
monster.
seeing?
No durable. It says Tim hush and read. We comments. We
Thanks,
interacted.
thanks, Cheryl.
Oh,
Oh
that's
my
funny.
goodness.
Danielle, what about you? What do you have to say about your generation, and what generation do you fall within?
Well, I seem to be like my horoscope on the cusp of the generation, only because
Okay.
it keeps changing every year. So like
Okay.
last year,
Butter.
Mm-hmm.
I was a Gen X, or no, I was a
Okay.
millennial, and now
Okay.
I'm a Gen X.
Alrighty. What do you
So
identify
yeah,
as? What have you always identified as?
Gen X just makes more sense to me because I
Okay.
did like MTV was a huge thing. MTV, Much Music, that was a huge thing for
Mm-hmm.
me. So
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
I think the reason why you kind of, I like most of us would identify as Gen X because that person from, I think it's about identifying. Like,
Right.
mm-hmm.
one of my closest friends is born in like 1967, a good 10 years different than me.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Weird, but when it comes to references, we speak the same language. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was 18 in the 80s. I was, at some point I was 10. You know what I
Right.
mean?
mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Society didn't change a lot in a lot of those years. Uh, that affected us in different ways.
Right.
But
Right,
but the 90s, the internet and all that, like those groups are going to be so much smaller. That's why they keep changing them. But like really,
mm-hmm.
65, you're born in 1965 to born to like sometime in the 80s. A lot of you might have seen more events, but when it comes to the things that shape societies, like technology,
Mm-hmm.
um, laws, like social laws, all that stuff didn't really change in that time. Like, but you know
Right.
what I mean? But in their certain age groups, they're not going to know that gay people
And boys and girls
weren't
school.
able to get married. They didn't know
Right,
what it was like to not have a phone and a camcorder in your pocket all the time. I had
mm-hmm.
every one of them. I had a camera. I had a, you know what I mean? Like I remember the
Yeah,
first. My father was born 1929, right? he remembers his first ride in a car, right?
Wow.
Right.
But my mom is 20 years younger than him, and a lot of their firsts are very similar because things weren't changing. So
Right.
I think the reason why they add all these new classes is just because like so much change in our society, be it politically, socially, or technologically, that like they have to group them because they're very different.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm gonna say millennials are dope because I'm a millennial. But I did come across an interesting, I guess you'd say, article. I believe it was on CTV News. It was quite interesting, actually. I think it was Gen Z. They were just like listing a bunch of different things that aren't relevant anymore.
God.
One of them being the crying emoji, which a lot of us know that we would use that for something that's really funny, like the laughing crying emoji. Apparently that's not cool anymore. Side
Is it
parts.
because we use it?
I guess so, right? They're trying to distinguish themselves. Side parts, apparently not cool anymore. Skinny jeans, also not cool anymore. So I thought that was quite funny. So they're really into like mom jeans now, as they call them, which I think is hilarious because that's what people rocked back in the 90s and the early 2000s. And I find that a lot now with this newer generation is that a lot of what they're mimicking is from the 90s. And I'm a 90s kid. Like I grew up just midway of the 90s, and a lot of what I'm seeing now, whether it be fashion and other things, they're just mimicking the 90s. Like, so I found that quite interesting.
Well, like
But
they
then
say...
again, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I just find it funny because when let's say 10 years from now, when I was like back in high school, 10, 11, 12 years ago, when I was in high school, my mom was saying that we are mimicking things from the 80s when she was a teenager. So it's just kind of interesting to see that cycle, you know what I mean? Because they're always going to think that they're inventing something new, but a lot of the times it stems from somewhere. So, yeah.
And it's kind of funny because my mom has always told us, don't throw out your clothes unless they don't fit you, because fashion always comes
There you
back.
go. Yeah, no, because my mom, I remember like in junior high and high school, like we had all different colored like skinny jeans and stuff, and my mom's like, this is what I wore in the 80s when I was in high school and stuff like that. So I just find it funny. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything kind of goes in a cycle, but
Right.
I just don't. The youth
Big up to the 90s. Yes, I
in
agree.
our times, I think the youth in our times don't have the voice that the youth in these times have. Like they were not, like we weren't, like I said, we'd be like test tubes, but we definitely weren't like, no one was like listening to be like, okay, what do they need, right? Whereas that's how the youth are listened to now.
That's true.
So that's a very big one. I think that's one of those reasons why all these things get changed. Because they could literally, like, I couldn't stand there and laugh at a generation that was older than me. How do you do that? You know, you can't be like, hey, you guys are whack now. Who gets to say that?
Yeah.
But those guys didn't have a voice because they didn't have access to like a ton of people. You know, you sat in your house and you played with your friends that lived on your block.
Right.
You didn't
and
just
the confidence level now too is much different. Like,
well, it's not a real confidence in my opinion, but yeah. Well, you know what I mean? It's like somebody can just do something, and by accident, a million people can see it, and now they can think they're talented, or they're smart, or they're educated, or they're whatever.
Okay.
And
that's not really how I thought about it when I said confident, but that's a different perspective for sure.
Yeah. Now, what do you, when you say confident, do you just mean as in like
they're just very opinionated, like they just say how they feel, and that's
don't give a.
But it's like exactly. My thing is the why. Why do they feel like that? you know. And I think the why has a lot to do with
With the
social
platforms they
media.
have. Yeah,
Platforms are
exactly.
just,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
They
So what do we
and
definitely have a
and,
think?
lot
and
more
then we
avenues.
and then guys like me and Danielle are the parents, and we know what it's like to be voiceless. We know what
Mm.
it's like to
Hmm.
see changes that need to be made and just not even have a clue that somebody would care. And that's the difference between somebody who was like, so Fred Hampton was 21 years old, right? When they killed him, and he was like one
Yeah.
of the leaders of the Black Panthers. You
Mm-hmm.
know, me at 21 was not that guy, but it's a different. That was
Right.
another thing that was different from
Yeah.
then to now. Like yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I go into
So
another rant, but I'm gonna choose not to.
so
That's
do
okay.
we think? Do we think Gen is it Gen Z?
I think
Yeah, I
so.
think they're spoiled now because now it's all about we're not giving any zeros in school anymore, or
Ooh, let's not even talk
um,
about that.
no, let's touch on it. Let's touch on it.
Man,
Let's touch on
I'm not.
it.
I'm
How
just
do we
gonna
feel about
talk.
that?
I'm gonna talk pre-COVID because right
Yeah.
now that's something completely different.
Oh, of
But
course. Yeah.
pre-COVID, I remember, like a few years back when they said that high school kids now have 6 hours to write their diplomas. I
Mm-hmm.
was kind of like, what? Like
Yep.
when you go to university, you have 50 minutes to write an exam. You know what I mean? Um,
Mm-hmm.
so in a sense, I feel like they were kind of setting them up for failure. Like, I don't know.
Right.
It's to me that's a little bit ridiculous. Most of these exams are made to be 2 hours tops, and then you got the extra hour if you needed it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. In a way, I feel like they're babied a lot, in a sense.
Right.
Um,
So so should we be scared?
No,
No.
yes and no, to an extent, maybe.
Yeah.
well,
Um,
when we're elderly and when they're the leaders, then maybe. But um, you know what? I have a friend that's about 10 and change years younger than me.
mhm.
She's ADHD. I am as well. I was diagnosed ADHD when I was 10.
Mhm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
mm, well, I was on medication for a really short amount of time when I was young. My mom didn't like how I acted
It
or how
affected you,
different
yeah.
I was when I was on it.
Right.
But anyways, so this friend of mine had the medication and was in university.
Mhm.
When she was writing her tests, she would be in another room on a couch.
Mm-hmm.
The school had given her a laptop. This is university. They given her a laptop and gave her probably
Mm-hmm.
3 times the time to write her exams.
Right. And I
I was
have
like,
heard of
what
situations like that.
magical thing is
Mhm.
this?
Right.
I don't even know how I finished college, you
Yeah.
know,
Right.
and to know that, I think that is good. Like, I
Right.
think that it's good that the attention is paid. But
Mhm.
man, it just
Mm-hmm.
wasn't there when I was a kid.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
I even say that I'm diagnosed ADHD, I get literally laughed at. Like, it's like, oh my god, really?
Right.
Or sometimes like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like, really? But and
I'm
that's
so
people like
sorry.
our age, because like there's a stigma to those kinds of things, like for for
Mhm.
for,
Mm-hmm.
for people who haven't necessarily educated themselves to the realities of mental health or just
Right.
learning disabilities and all those things. Like, so um like it's not just the systems, it was the people underneath too. um
Right.
Mm.
that but I thought that was like the 10-year difference, like the evolution of how you treat students, how you deal with them, and the different ways that they learn.
Mhm.
Um, that's a
And to
good
be
thing.
honest, to be honest with you, it doesn't even take a decade because I remember when I was in university and I was in like let's say second, third year, there were so many new things that they implemented for students who were coming in like a year or two after me. Even when I was in my last year of university, just the changes like things were so different and the requirements were so different when I had enrolled, and the different things that I needed for like my major and my minor in terms of credits. And it just seems like it just got easier along the way. So, and there were times too when I was sitting there and I was like, man, like maybe I wish I just, declared a little later, because it's just like, they didn't get things handed to them. But again, as things evolve and, different students give different feedback, it just kind of cushions the upcoming students a little bit more, right? So, but I feel like that will be like, that's with anything in life, as you learn, as we progress, it just kind of paves the way a little bit nicer for those coming behind us. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. I remember Kiki and I had a conversation about, I don't know if you guys heard, a pastor got pastor was arrested. Was it last week or recently?
I don't believe it was last. I think it was a little bit.
It was a week before
longer.
last.
Yeah,
but
it was a couple
in the news
weeks
for a while.
Yes, because there were big protests last week and stuff like that. At the remand, and he's still in there, right? To my knowledge.
To my knowledge, yeah.
Can anyone confirm that? And I remember even seeing that there was a pastor in Calgary who's apparently a friend with him who, was saying they're going to go and have church service as well, in solidarity. But it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. There's a lot of people who are missing that aspect of life, especially people who go to church weekly, that's a big part of their lives. And it's weird. It's kind of hard to say like, hey, like you can't go and worship and, be amongst your congregation and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's a weird time. It's a weird time.
But I thought, No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. It's all good.
No, Canada. No, I was just, from what I read, the reason why he's in jail following the health policy. Am I wrong?
Right, like I think it was. It had to do with like capacity. There weren't people who were wearing masks and stuff like that.
The churches are supposed to be at less than 15% capacity, and his church was not.
Right.
To be honest, I'm very shocked that there hasn't been more of this. To be honest, I'm really shocked.
Like more arrests?
Because, well, not more, just more churches breaking the rules. I'm pretty shocked. And I think it's a good sign, because I thought like some of the churches that I know of and how hardcore they are, like these people go to church like 3-4 times a week at least. So I thought, So I thought that I thought for sure like there were going to be people like, but nope, they were not one of like the hardcore churches that I know of. None of them have been kind of transgressing the rules, which I think is which is good. But these guys, they just take it serious. They didn't take it. They're not taking it seriously.
There's a comment that just came in by Tanya. It says, "It's just what's being reported, though." And I think that's in reference to the topic here with the church and the pastor. So
like
maybe it is going on, and people just haven't gotten wind of it as yet. Authorities.
Well, I know Bethel. I know when I look at sometimes when I look at the live streams or pictures. I've been there for a funeral, for a couple things, and it was temperature checks at the door, waiver, like blocked off seating, and I was just like, this is good. This is really good. Really?
So were they also live streaming?
Oh yeah.
Or was it just?
Well, there was times where it was just shut down because but then since it's opened back up, following the protocols like super well. Like my parents, they don't go, they won't go.
Right.
And even at that, I was shocked. Because my father, since he's since I
Temperature checks as we walk in from the cold. That's funny.
but I like my dad did this unless he was away working. My dad didn't miss services. Actually, even when he was working, he like organized prayer meetings and things like at camps.
Wow.
And so I thought that when it was lifted, he'd run back in. And he's like, and my mom's like, no, it's good. He's like, no, he's like, his literal quote is, I'm not dancing with Miss COVID. That is his line.
There you go. And actually, I think you said that at the end of our episode last week. You're like, please don't dance with.
But it's funny though. This situation is really like my mom was saying that because of now their computer at home, then they also got an iPad so they can, be in bed and watch services. And then they've been connecting more with all the churches and all the people that they've met all over the years that we normally would just wait to go see at their services, or they would be coming to Edmonton. Now you get to see them every week because you can log into the service in England or the one in Toronto. And so I think
I've actually heard some people say that they prefer to just lay in bed and go to service.
So instead of like wearing pajamas to church, like some do, like people could just be in their pajamas at home.
Exactly.
So do you think after this is all quote unquote done, do you think more people will be staying at home to go to church, or do you think people will just, okay, we're free, let's go to church now?
I think for a while people will be a little hesitant. I think so.
Let's say if hypothetically, if hypothetically it's actually solved and we have a good handle on it, I think people are going to be flocking to the churches. That's my opinion.
Okay.
Because
what do you guys think?
In-person vibes is in-person vibes. Like I'm sure you guys have been to some online fetes, and when this is all back, you think you're going to be like, hey, you know what? I'll just keep doing online fetes. Nah,
never.
You're going to be down at TNT Hall.
Never that. Never that.
You know what I mean? You're going to be, one of them spots.
I need to whine on someone's child. No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
So I think like for like especially like Bethel folk and
exactly
that kind of people,
he agrees with you, Danielle.
Like with those folk with like I grew up like church is the fete, so they would see exactly church fete, People are going to be vibing at TNT on Friday. They're going to be at the 7-day church on Saturday. They're going to be at other places on Sunday. They're going to get all their church and all their spirituality and all their positive vibes and watch.
It's too funny. Too funny. Huh. So do you think, did they say how long he was going to be at the Remand Center for? Or is it just kind of a...
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure. I don't recall seeing how long he's going to be in there.
So I'm guessing he's been in the remand center for 2 weeks now, I'm assuming.
If he's in the remand, that means he's awaiting trial. That's what the remand is there for. That means he's awaiting trial. And he was let out one time, and but you'll stay in remand if there is fear that you will reoffend. He's shown that he doesn't care about the public health protocols. So he's going to stay in remand until he has a court date.
Right.
Interesting.
Yep.
So the remand is not jail. Well, it's a place that you can't leave unless they let you. But it's not like jail.
Right.
I consider it jail. I wouldn't want to be there, but I hear you. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
But and
thank you for making that distinction. I'm sure there's a lot of people who probably don't know that. So,
if you if you actually get convicted, then you go to one of the many prisons that they have here in the province, and depending on your crime elsewhere.
Right. What do you get? Just like a slap on the wrist, don't do it again, and a big fine.
I don't know. Oh, someone says it's prison either way. Greg, it's prison either way, is what Greg said. I'm not sure.
It kind of is. I've been to Bethel. Yes, it's a bet. It is a bet. Trust me. I play for Trincan, and those beats that I play for Trincan are beats I played at church on the drums. Trust.
Okay.
Well, we appreciate those beats, Tim. We appreciate
exactly.
those beats.
Hey, thank you to Bethel. Shout out to Barry. Rest in peace, Wayne.
Funny.
Oh, that's so funny. I don't know if you guys heard the MPs in, well, a certain MP, what is his name? Can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he wants the government to slash their salary like everyone else into $2,000 a month. That's the bill he wants to pass, and it's called We're All in This Together Act.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you think
definitely
Edmonton should follow suit if that goes through?
It's not happening.
It's not happening, but hypothetically,
Yeah.
if it went through, do you think Edmonton would follow suit?
No.
No?
No.
No.
Nope.
Do you think
This
they
is Alberta, oil country.
I mean,
people are about their money out here. Can't see it happening.
People got bills.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
It's a
Very
cool
true.
sentiment, but it's,
It is.
Mhm.
It is.
Mhm.
And
yeah. Because you know what? If they do that, then they're going to be coming for me. And I'm not having any of that. Government workers are next. No.
that's funny. But I mean, it does suck for individuals who, pre-COVID, who would have been making more than $2,000 a month, and have certain commitments or bills. And then if they're not working right now for different reasons, and they're not getting that same income, like, it is a struggle, right? Like, they have bills and stuff that they have to pay. So I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't see it happening.
It's those kind of moves. Those kind of moves are, like, again, the sentiment is good, but
Right.
in the branches of government, there are so many places where there's incredible waste.
Yes, that's true.
Like, suspend suspend upgrades to certain equipment.
Cancel student loans. Just putting that one up.
Like, see,
Hey,
but like,
a girl can dream, okay?
There's branches of government that, let's say, they have, like, in IT, because that's where I work. I work in IT. So there's branches of government where they had to shave money off the budgets. And so what they did, they used to be changing, there's places where they would be changing the monitors out after 3 years. And a scanner would get changed out after 3 years.
Okay.
And then it just came to the point where, no, they're not going to do that. And then that alone shaved hundreds of thousands of dollars off of their budgeting plans, in the years to come, like, because at the end of the day, if it's working, just don't change it. And then you can reallocate that money somewhere else. Like, there's so many places that they can, like, how many optional programs that are running. Like, it's just no, like.
Do you feel like the government? Okay, well, I guess it depends whether we're talking federal versus provincial. But do you feel like they're doing enough to help individuals who aren't working right now or who have lost a substantial amount of their income due to COVID?
I think they're doing a lot. But I always have a problem with, but I don't have an answer for, is that broad brush that they swipe everybody with.
Yes.
That's my problem. But I don't know the answer, because
to how to,
like, so you give everybody, CERB, right? Some of those people were on EI already.
True.
Like some people haven't worked or aren't looking for work. And I'm not talking about the people who are looking for work and can't find work. And this is why the solution that I think of, I know it doesn't work, because to oversee the proper allocation of funds and being deliberate about it getting to the people who really need it the most takes a lot of oversight, and that oversight costs money.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, because I'm a person, like, I don't even believe in minimum wage, right? And I'm glad we're not in person because people would throw things at me. But I don't believe in minimum wage. And I don't I don't think if an able-bodied person that doesn't have any mental issues or physical issues, or they're not elderly, they're free from learning disabilities and the things that would stop them from being able to work. I think that the market should determine what you make. If you're skilled at something, you'll make more. If you're not skilled or you don't put in the effort to be skilled at something or learn something, you'll get paid less, and that should just be how it is. And I don't think that there should be, if you just don't feel like working or but at the same time, if there is mental issues, the government should be there with the programs and things to help those people. But if you're just somebody who happens to be not that industrious, I don't think that money should be going in that area. Because there's that person who got hurt, who is on, you know what I mean? Like, they're all, yeah, I know. Yes, I know that's not how the market, it actually is how the market works. Really? Wait, what? That is how the market works. Sorry, Greg. Yeah. You know, the market, your skill levels and be them interpersonal, be them education or whatever, that can determine how much you earn. Education, not all the time. Nothing's all the time. But by and large, you do the work, you get the results. But I think there's some people that can't necessarily do the work.
There's some people who do the work for years and years, and they never truly get compensated for that, right? Or they never see an increase for whatever reason, whether it's unionized or, you know what I mean? Some people can never get past that glass ceiling. But again, there's lots of factors that play into that. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, it's cool, but I'm just like, yeah, I'm talking a lot. So,
no, it's not good.
Here's the thing, like, you know, that I think there should be the living wage and the minimum wage should be, you know, for that person with Down syndrome that, like, is going to work every day, you know, okay, 1 second.
I'm just reading what he said here. Corporations are about maximizing profits. So without oversight, companies will be as much out of the workforce as they can in the name of profit. That was Greg's comment.
I think that the model that I'm thinking of will drive the companies who aren't doing the work or don't put the infrastructure or oversight in place. It will drive them out. That's just my opinion.
It's an interesting take.
Yeah, but I think that I'm not a conservative by every means, and I am not like way on the left. But I think that there's certain elements of society that need to be taken care of, and I think that I feel no way for my taxes to go to that money to go there. But but that uber conservative side that thinks everybody should just kind of be making it on their own. I don't necessarily agree with that too. There's elements of society that really need that should be taken care of by the rest of us.
Yeah.
But I think there's some, if you don't like to do something and you're gonna sit on EI, man, like
right.
Or the job that I want isn't available, so but CERB is here. No.
Yeah. No, I get that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My father came here and left us in Toronto, and this man, he didn't even have a. He said he didn't have a winter coat. He took his church jackets and sweaters, and he would walk around looking for places to work. Do you know what I'm saying? Be industrious, but what happens is people who don't want to be industrious, they could use all that effort to increase their place in the marketplace. They could use all that effort to know how to swindle a system. You know, that's my take on that. But again, there's no fast answer.
There isn't.
Right.
There isn't.
Yeah. So, I had an interesting conversation with a friend of mine the other day,
Okay.
and it was quite interesting. I'm not going to name the person or the news source that asked, but there is an interview coming out about the Caribbean community. And the person that was doing the interview thought that Carrie West was a Jamaican-based festival.
Okay.
When I heard that, I was blown away. I thought, we as a community, Caribbean community, are we not promoting Carrie West the way it's supposed to be promoted? Or any other Caribbean-based events? Are we not promoting it the way it should? Are we not educating people? Because I had to give her like the rundown of Carrie West. I was so upset that I thought that.
Oh gosh!
But
All right. Hold on.
I was just like,
First of all, Carrie West is on the same weekend as the folk festival.
Right.
yeah.
But the individual who asked this, are they a part of the Caribbean community? Like, we need a little. Well, we don't necessarily need.
It was on the phone, so I've never seen the person. I don't know the person, so I can't really say. I didn't hear an accent. Like I don't know.
Okay, all right. Okay. First, okay.
I don't have school tomorrow.
I got to sit up
You
for
don't,
this.
oh, you don't?
Yeah, it's
All right, cool. I told them to go put on their PJs, and they want to tell me they don't have school tomorrow. So, all right.
What? You guys want
All
to
right.
school tomorrow?
Tanya
Cool.
said that has nothing to do with it. Can you clarify? This was a CBC person.
All right. So,
I got him vibrated.
if it's a standard person in our community, if you know what I'm saying, that's just straight up their ignorance and them looking at me and thinking, every black person and thinking that they're Jamaican. That's the thing. I don't think there's anything that we can do about that, because you could put something up, you could put some information up. If the person doesn't want to read it or doesn't care or is not invested, it doesn't matter.
Right.
So, so I don't know. Maybe y'all can shed some light when it comes to what they think of the Carrie West Festival. I guess my comment
Just
in regards
just
to
anything
that it's held
Caribbean
on-
based.
What do you mean? Can you elaborate on that? What do you mean anything Caribbean based?
Like,
Okay, wait, hold on.
I don't know,
No,
first-
all. I am sorry. I just wanted to read this comment quickly. No, all. I am the director of marketing for Carrie West. So let me hear what you all saying now. Remember, I am Jamaican. Oh my gosh. Standard person. Translation. I mean,
So
I'm
you're
not
saying-
gonna lie to you. That's the first thing that popped into my mind. Like, I was curious as to the background of this individual. Oh, sorry, a little loud.
Never runs out of
Oh, I don't know. So so we should have brought Greg on, but now. Oh, this is the feather in the soul. That's right. Like, a lot of times, one of our things is that we look at Carrie West as our thing. You know, it's as our thing. That's our carnival. That's our. That's our thing. it's not really.
Mhm.
I don't think it's meant to be an educational thing, is it? I don't know.
That when
I feel like it
I could
can
tell
be,
you,
though.
I could tell you
Sure.
for a fact. Hold on, I could say something to that because my dad, along with a few of his friends, started Carrie West, and it did start out to be an educational thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's how like it
Hmm.
was integrated
I
into the
think
festival, and then over the years, it just got lost. I don't know
I
how, I
think
don't
it
know
should be
when.
both fun and educational,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Um, but no, I agree with
Well,
Tanya.
okay. Wait, you're okay. If it's both fun and educational, how? We know that there's the parade, right? That's not the
Hmm.
place where we're going to necessarily be doing any learning. I'm sure there's other events that are associated, like or linked into that time. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but
Hmm.
like like I am not sure. Uh,
That was so stressful.
Greg said it
Still
is still
education.
education.
Somebody said this is your last chance.
Well, no, the lack of education about Caribbeans will make them think that Kara West is Jamaican.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I think.
Hmm.
Um,
It's gonna be tough.
yeah, I don't know.
That is true, though.
I don't know.
Like for instance, like someone whose family a smaller Caribbean island, which is St. Nevis, and
Hmm.
I happen to grow up on Nevis, which is even smaller than St. Kitts. Like a lot of people, don't necessarily even know where that is.
Mhm.
Right.
It is frustrating at times because there's so many times where I meet other Caribbean individuals who know nothing else about any other islands. And
Right.
I grew up in the Caribbean for over a decade, which is I think that's the best thing my mom could have ever done for me, like giving me that experience. I was born here.
Hmm.
But I do feel like, that I got the opportunity to be open up to my culture in a different way. And like I'm not I don't have anything against anyone who was, just born here
Yeah.
who didn't get
Yeah.
that sort of experience, but there's just so many people, who they're like, yeah, like I'm proud Caribbean or I'm proud Jamaican or whatever. But they just don't know anything beyond, I guess you could say, Carrie West and the fun
Hmm.
activities. Like they can't tell you anything else about any other countries in the Caribbean. A lot of people don't keep
Right.
up with any, like current events in the Caribbean and stuff like that. But to me, that is an
Hmm.
individual thing, right?
I
Yeah.
agree.
That is an individual thing, but I don't know. I've had interactions with other people from the Caribbean or who have that background, and sometimes I'm
Hmm.
just like,
So Greg, if you're still here, what is the mandate of Kara West? What is the mandate? What's the mission
I
statement?
see googly eyes.
What is the goal of Kara West when it comes to the community? There's a question for you.
I'm like,
I
if
want
you want, I
Tanya
can
to
go run and get
elaborate
the
on that
bylaws.
side eye, Tanya.
So, do you guys?
Oh Lord! Listen, we're not the ones saying small island. That's
No.
y'all.
I don't want anyone to take that the wrong way. Like,
Yeah. No, I get where you're coming from. I get it.
okay, think about it this way.
You'll be able to tell.
You can be from insert talents. I'm just reading these comments. They're hilarious. My comments and me saying that I'm from a small island, like that had nothing to do with a small island versus
Jamaica.
big island,
Yeah.
right? Because there are people who are from Jamaica who know nothing about any of the other islands. You get what I'm saying? Like I've heard people who are Jamaican who know nothing about a bigger island such as Trinidad. You know what I mean? Like they know where it is, they know a few things. But again, that's why I said it's an individual thing, right? At
But
least
this is the thing. This is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to? Do you know what I mean?
To me, that's an ignorant comment.
Is that a what?
To me, that's an ignorant comment. You saying, "Do we need to?" But
It's
that's
a
just
question.
my opinion.
It is a
Like
question.
you mean like, do people need to be informed about the other islands?
Right, yeah. Do they need to?
I think so.
Like,
I
does a
think
Chinese person, can a
I think
the
Chinese
so.
whole
person tell
educational
you about
aspect of it is very
Japan and
good.
tell you about the Philippines, tell you about Burma, or sorry, Myanmar? Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, do they, we just hold each other to these standards. And the thing is, like, there's so much history in a lot of the islands that our parents are from or we're from that we don't know. You know,
Right.
there's so much we're learning about the colonialism in our own island, how that affected us.
Right.
Like, I think it would be wise to know, and I'd like to know, but
Right.
I'm not necessarily looking at that other person. Like, I'm side-eyeing a Caribbean person that's going to ask me if I'm Jamaican. Like, that's just like, no, that's weird. Like, you should know.
That's happened to me before.
You
That's
should
happened to me
know
more than I
about-
would like to.
It's
You
happened to
should
me.
know. It's like, I can hear the accent and know, okay, that's these guys, and this is a little bit about them. But that's my own personal choice to just want to know things.
Right.
Right.
And your experience too, right? If you hang around like people who are from different islands, like you do, you learn those things, right? So I don't know. I guess there is a lot of factors that
See,
plays in.
now I would say that knowing that Cecil George and his brethren them started Carry West is a good thing that should be out there and people need to know. Like, in regards to, like, so here we are in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and there's impact that our people have had in this city for the last like 50 years. And I think that I think that that's something that we should be promoting, right? I think that there's some basics that we all need to know, but I don't think we shouldn't forget or downplay the impact of members of our community on this community and this city at large. So that's
There's some interesting comments coming in here. Says, I don't need the next island's national anthem, but there are some common thread across the islands that connect and some themes that cross.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Like we know there's certain I don't know the word for it right now, but like there's just certain habits that some of the islands all share, and that's because of our history and our ancestry is very, very similar. So there's certain things that went down the line that they're kind of similar. Now, even though I'm not Jamaican, like I know enough about certain things about Jamaica, or even just dealing with, like, to me, dealing with an old Grenadian lady, the same way I would deal with an old Jamaican lady. You know what I mean? You see her, you make sure you greet her. You don't wave at her. You say hello, Miss So and So or Sister So and So, and whatever, and then you do that, and her day is made, right?
Yeah.
But it's and that's almost all the islands. That there's a certain respect that we have to certain elements of the community that is a language that kind of spreads towards or throughout all of them, and we're kind of similar in that way. I think there's a lot of things that make us more similar than that make us different.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? But you sit there, if I'm the one non-Jamaican guy in a group attending, like, how many times I've been told how much lizards I eat or Grenadians eat and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, oh Lord. But that has nothing to do with Care West. So that's
Yes. So
sorry.
That's fine.
okay, so Danielle, what do you think? The question that you brought, what are your thoughts?
I think we should bring it back to how it was, a bit more educated. It was almost like, if you think about it, it was almost like Heritage Days. There was always an educational element to it.
Okay.
So you're saying that? So let me paraphrase you, or actually,
Yes.
say what you're not saying.
Say it. Okay.
Carrie West needs to add more education into their programming.
Program. Yeah.
But
How?
So what was done before is that my dad would go around schools, teach them about the Caribbean. He would go to City Hall. He'd have like a conference, like a little conference. He would, what else did he do? He had, I remember this so well. He had a meeting with all of the MPs and the mayor and had them in one room and just explain to them what Kerry West was all about. Oh my God. So I just think like we could take a week before. It doesn't have to be during Kerry West weekend. It could be a week before and just say, okay, this is what's coming up. This is what the parade stands for. This is why we do the parade. This is I'm trying to bring back Panorama, Greg. I'm trying to bring it back. I'm talking to bands right now. I'm trying to bring back Panorama.
Lord.
So it'll be virtual, obviously, because no one can afford to come here. But yeah.
Do you think that Kerry West should be the tool for educating the community at large about
Yeah.
Caribbean people in our community?
Yes,
You think that should
pretty
be?
much.
That
it
should
doesn't
be
have to
part
be
of
the
mandate?
only tool.
Doesn't, yeah, it doesn't have to be the only tool.
I do feel like there are different things that they do in Kerry West
Yeah,
that
for sure.
are
Like,
educational.
yeah.
Like for instance,
Remember,
like
I'm a newbie. Like I'm a newbie.
Yeah, no.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'm not coming from a place of judgment. I'm coming.
Yeah,
neither
no,
am
for
I.
sure.
I would
asking
consider
Yeah,
myself
no.
a newbie as well because I definitely don't
Yeah.
have as much history with Kerry West as you, Danielle, and like your family and other people within the community. But
Yeah.
I would say there are elements of Kerry West that are educational. Like even this past year, you know, with the way that they did it this year, they did like
Yeah, that was amazing.
cooking. They did like this
Yeah.
story about like how pan came about, like different things. So
Yeah.
there are those little pockets of education. It's just that I guess you could say people within the community, they have certain events that they favor, which is mostly the partying
Yeah.
aspect of things. So again, I feel like that's kind
Yeah.
of an individual thing, right? Like people are choosing what they attend and the information that they're getting from that weekend.
Sure,
So,
and I agree with that. Like
yeah.
when you're saying it is an individual thing because we can't lay on Kerry West the job.
No,
of
I'm not saying.
educating us.
That's
All of
why I
us-
said.
All of us in our little pockets and places we go, we let them know because I know I do. Because
Yeah, no, for sure.
I'm one of the only black faces almost ever when I'm at work, and when I get that stuff, or not even so, I say it out there. Yeah, you see,
Right.
my parents come from a place called Grenada, and it's literally half the size of Edmonton, and there's only about 110,000 people there. And we all have our role to play, but I think that something as massive as Kerry West should marry all of the work that we've all been doing in our community, the businesses, the individuals, the families, the promoters, everywhere. It marries that together.
Yes.
And then it brings because the city comes out like my whole when I was talking about being on the same weekend as the folk festival. This is from getting free tickets and going to the folk festival and seeing hundreds of thousands of people over a weekend and randoms being like, you know what people say. One of the guys I get my tickets from, he would always be like, yo, I want to go to that so much, but this is a family tradition that we go to the folk fest, but I would love to go to Kerry West, but it's a family tradition to go to this thing. And God knows that there's thousands of people that's exactly their story.
Right.
So, for sure. Again, I've heard that story so many times.
With our tiny little summer, I get it, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's why I didn't say just Kerry West. I said other Caribbean events as well.
Come here.
That are throughout the city, throughout the year.
Don't drink that.
Why?
Sorry.
Yeah. So.
I'm smelling it.
So that was just my little. Like, what do we need to do to just kind of educate the city of Edmonton? Like, Jamaica's not the only Caribbean country out there.
Right.
because
True.
everything seems to be Jamaica. So I just
And
this was what
that's not Jamaica's fault.
It
it's
isn't.
not. It's
That's
not.
Bob
But I'm just
Marley's
trying to.
fault. Just kidding.
Yeah, sure. So that's why that was my question. Like, what do we need to do as a community to educate everyone else that Jamaica is not the only, sorry, Greg, is not the only
No.
Caribbean country
Jamaica
out
has
there.
nothing to do with the work. Actually, you know what? Jamaica has nothing to do with the work that we have to do as a Grenadian, as from being St. Kitts and Nevis, or being Grenadian or whatever. That's not Jamaica's
Guyanese, yeah.
problem. That's
Yeah.
hey, if I want to talk about mine, I'm gonna talk about mine, because they talk about
Yeah,
theirs.
no,
Good
I
for them.
agree. I agree
Yeah.
because I
No?
definitely
Yeah.
do the footwork as well. You know, when
Mm-hmm.
I meet new people or whatever, like I tell them, like they ask me where I'm from or my background, and I always say like, yeah, like my family is from St. Kitts Nevis, and you know, I give them the whole spiel. So I do
Yeah.
believe that it's not just on Kerry West for sure.
Oh,
Like
no. Yeah.
it has to be a combination of things.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
But like Tim
but I
said,
just
Kerry West is kind of like the basket that holds all the cultures together, and we just need to find a way to make that happen.
yeah. I just want to read some of the comments here because we're missing
Yeah.
a few. So, people have to be able to put in the work, and I think it's difficult relying on just the Kerry West board because they're already, what does that say? How do you pronounce that word? Sorry.
Inundated.
Inundated with putting up Kerry West, and tell her I'd like more work on them is in all dikes extremely difficult. So I think if people were committed and wanted to volunteer the time to do so, I think that would be a good way to execute that. That was Aisha. And Greg said, also keep it real. Most people are not willing to put in the work, the time.
Ooh.
That's
So,
true, though.
that is true.
That's very
That
true.
is
Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. What work? What work?
When is this video gonna be?
Do you know what I mean? At the Kerry West level, like, what work are you talking about? Like going to a meeting every month, or are you
I don't know if
talking
he's
about,
talking
like,
about
what's
Kerry West
the
or just
mandate? Is
on
there
an
a scope?
individual level.
Is there a scope? Is there areas of volunteering that are laid out that people come in to do, but then don't want to do? Maybe there's something we could talk about after, but
Mhm.
and then we could discuss
Yeah, for
again
sure.
next week. But
Yeah, for sure.
Well, the
I don't know,
floodgates are
since
open. So.
yeah, I'm like, we're almost hitting our hour and 10-minute mark. I know there's something coming up with Five Artists One Love. Tim, I don't know if you want to talk about that and let
well,
everyone know what's going on.
they're they released it's like a series, and wonderful Stephanie French has recorded a song, and it's just really done really well. There's interviews from people past and present, and so just check that out. Follow Five Artists One Love on Facebook, on Instagram, and his Twitter as well. Friend up Darren Jordan if you're not friends with him already. There's some really amazing work. Things are really up in the air. At this point in February, we would, if it wasn't for COVID, we would be talking about how awesome the last Five Artists One Love was that would have just passed. And so
Right.
it's weird. Like this would have been my 11th year in Five Artists One Love. And so just stay tuned. I'm one of the regular faces in there, and so stay tuned.
Nice. I think it's launching this Friday.
There was one that got loud. They put it out just last week, and there's going to be another one, and there's going to be more. So
Okay, so it's like a weekly thing?
I am not sure. The schedule has a lot to do with the availability of the venues that they want to employ. So.
Okay, cool. To let everyone know, on February 7th, St. Albert is celebrating the Taste of Africa, which will be their second year celebrating Black History Month since the African Caribbean community in St. Albert kind of grew really fast over the last few years. So just to celebrate that, they're doing a little virtual Black History Month event. They have, I think they're doing like a food tasting. So you buy your tickets, the whole drive-through, pick up your food, and enjoy the event at home. So if you guys are interested in that, go on Eventbrite, Taste of Africa, get your tickets, well, your food tickets, and it seems like it's going to be a great weekend. There's 5 Artists, One Love, Taste of Africa, and Barris Hammond is on Sunday. So it's going to be a good weekend.
Alrighty. Thank you for letting us know about those events, Danielle.
Right on.
Of course. Is there anything else you guys want to touch on that we didn't get to before we call it a night?
There's some comments.
There's some comments. There's some conversation that's going, but we can we can still address that after we go off here. But
okay, we can do that. All right. So on that note,
all right, everybody, thank you.
Yes. Thank you everyone for tuning in.
Thank you for all your interaction tonight. And again, if you guys have any feedback, let us know. If there's any topics that you'd like us to address, just link it on our page and we'll definitely take a look at that.
And we didn't have any issues tonight, so. All right, have a good night, guys. Make sure you share this, and we'll see you guys all next week.
Yeah, have a good night.